Hey guys, it's the Cranky Yankee here. Another hockey related video, but this one's going to be loosely based on the Southern Professional Hockey League, which I've now sort of kind of taken upon myself to cover. But I want to talk about something a lot of people have been talking about for the last few months, and I apologize for my hair. I just got a shower, so it's kind of messy. Anyway, the Olympics. Alright, so we know that I believe as it stands now, NHL players are not going to be are going to be allowed to go to the Olympics, and I believe the KHL is having issues as well. Hockey Guy did a video about that earlier. If you want to know a little more in depth about why the KHL is trying to have an argument with the Olympic Committee, you can look at that. It has to do with performance enhancing drugs, and look, it's Russia. They do funky stuff. We all know that. So my take, and I had a discussion about this with a friend of mine. Actually, I had a discussion about this with a friend of mine that I work with who doesn't even like hockey, but I wanted their opinion because everyone watches the Olympics, regardless of what you watch, whether you watch the hockey or the ice skating or the snowboarding or whatever. I'm under the impression that the Olympics doesn't want professional, quote-unquote, players to be in the Olympics anymore. Now, here's my question. What does the Olympic Committee define as a professional athlete? My definition of a professional athlete is anybody who plays a sport and gets paid to do so, regardless of how much they get paid. This would include SPHL players. They only make $600-800 a month or a week, so I mean they're not making terrible money, but enough to live off of a modest, comfortable living. But in my opinion, they're still professional hockey players. They're not making millions of dollars a year, but they're still making money. They're still getting paid to play a sport. Now, if you're not going to allow professional hockey players in the Olympics, you need to not allow professional athletes of any kind in the Olympics. Does that include snowboarders? I mean, I know Shaun White's old now. I don't follow snowboarding anymore, but I'm from Vermont, so I grew up snowboarding. I know how to snowboard. I love to snowboard. I did when I was younger enjoy watching the X Games and the Olympics for snowboarding. A lot of those people get paid to do it, whether it be from sponsors or whatnot. Now, the difference is I don't technically know as though they have a contract to play a sport. Like, they don't have a contract with a specific team or something, which is where the gray area kind of gets. Like, team sports are a little different than individual sports. But if they allow, say they allow SPHL players to play in the Olympics, how is that any different than an NHL or a KHL player? They have a contract. They play for a team. They make money. They are paid to play for this team, to play their sport. What's the difference? I mean, to me, the only big difference is money. And it's not necessarily these people are getting paid. It's the effect of the owners and the franchise owners of the NHL and the KHL. The NHL didn't want to send their players because they're like, oh, well, we have to shut down for 2 weeks. We want to have a little bit of a reimbursement for the money that we're losing. Now, here's the thing about the NHL. These people who own these teams are billionaires. They don't need that money. They're just being dinks, in my opinion. Pardon my French, but they're being dinks. Little freaking tallywhackers are like, oh, we're losing all this money and all this money. It's like, oh, you can afford to lose all this money. They make millions of dollars a year. I mean, hell, the owner of the Houston Rockets, and I'm not going to try to pronounce his name. A lot of people have. He's got a very funky, hard to pronounce name. He just bought the Houston Rockets in September for $2.2 billion. $2.2 billion. He bought the Houston Rockets basketball team. He really wants to get a hockey team in Houston. Probably that's going to be in 2019, 2020, where the 32nd NHL team is going to probably end up, is probably going to be in Houston, unless something drastic changes over the next couple of years. But as is right now, that's the one in the top. He is more or less in the first spot right now to have another franchise. Now, he could get an expansion team, which means, things like Arizona could go there, or Florida, or heaven forbid Calgary. I doubt Calgary goes. I mean, I feel like that city would riot if they lost their hockey team. I mean, it's Canada. Canada's crazy. They love their hockey. But that's my thing is, you need to define what a professional player is. And you need to either allow professional players in the Olympics or don't. And it has to be for all sports. It can't just be pick and choose one or the other. Because I'm pretty sure I watched the Summer Olympics a couple of years ago, and I'm pretty sure in the Summer Olympics they had professional basketball players playing for Team USA. I could be wrong, but I did watch a little bit of it. I believe there was a few NBA players on that team. They're professional basketball players. They make a lot of fucking money. But yet they were allowed to be in the Olympics. And this brings me to the question that I posed to my coworker and friend. When you think of the Olympics, what do you think of? You know, at least maybe it's my generation. I mean, I'm almost 30. I'm not an old guy. I'm not necessarily young, but I mean, I'm young compared to a lot of people making these decisions. When I was growing up, I watched the Olympics because I wanted to watch the best of the best. The best athletes in the world compete for their country, regardless of sport. In my opinion, that's what the Olympics should be. It's not about amateur athletes, professional athletes, and this, that, the next thing. It's about bringing all of the best athletes in the world together in one place and compete against each other for the pride of their country. That's what I want to see. That's me. That's what I want to see when I watch the Olympics. I want to see the best hockey players, like for the hockey, like we'll say for hockey, we'll focus on that specifically, but to me it's for all sports, but we'll focus on hockey because that's what we're talking about. When I watch the hockey in the Olympics, I want to watch the best hockey players in the world, regardless of where they're from and what teams they play for. I want to see the best of the best in the world. Because in my opinion, it's like, oh, well, we're not going to allow NHL players or KHL players. Like, all right, so what is that? Are you going to allow CHL players to play? Are you going to allow guys from my team, the Pensacola Ice Flyers? Are you going to let those guys go and represent their country? I'd love to see that. I would love to see guys from the SPHL go. It would be great. I don't think it's happening because the caliber of player is just not where it is in the NHL. Not that I'm saying any of these guys are bad hockey players, because they're all better than me. I can tell you that. They're all far better players than I am. But it's one of those things like, oh yeah, well, you know, this country won the gold, but you know, well, if they'd allowed, you know, we'll say, you know, Finland. We'll say Finland wins the gold medal. It's like, yeah, well, you know, but if they had allowed Sidney Crosby to play, or they had allowed this person to play, or that person to play for Canada, Canada probably would have won. Or hey, if they would have let Auston Matthews play, you know, for Team USA, or Connor McDavid, I believe they're both American. If you let, you know, if you had Connor McDavid and Auston Matthews on Team USA, there's no way that they would have destroyed everybody. So it becomes this thing. It's like, yeah, it's like, it's almost like there's a little asterisk next to it. You know, it's like, hey, this country won, but would they still have won had the best players in the world played? This is my question for you guys. What do you guys think? Do you want to see the best players in the world? Do you think that the Olympic Committee's right in doing this? Do you think they're wrong in this? Do you think the NHL needs to just bite the bullet and say, fuck it, let them go? The hell with the money? The hell with shutting down the league? Whatever. So I want to know. Same thing with the KHL. Should the Olympic Committee allow them to go, even though there's a big issue with performance-enhancing drugs? Now, apparently Russia's, it's state-funded, so apparently Russia's funding, like, allowing these players to do this, which the Olympic Committee, that I kind of get. That one's makes a little more black and white, makes a little more sense to me. But it's the same thing, like, do you think that when you watch the Olympics at home every year, do you watch it because you just like to see the sports, or do you want to watch the best players in the world play? Because that's what I watch. I want to see the best of the best, and I want to see the best players of my country in the United States compete to bring my country gold. Let me know, guys. Have a great night. Later on tonight, I'll be doing another video about the SPHL. We got 4 games. I think there's 2 games going on right now. I know Pensacola plays at 7 o'clock, which is about another half hour or so, but I'll be doing an updated standings on that. So, guys, if you want to, keep an eye out for that. We'll see you again. This is a Cranky Yankee. Like and subscribe because I need them. I need my likes and subscribes, man. I only got 4 subscribers, so if you like this, follow me. We'll see you again. Have a great night, guys.